Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Lanolin, and we are back with episode 90 of my modded Minecraft Let's Play series. Hooray! We reached episode 90. Pretty stoked, pretty excited, and I'm thinking about if I should do anything special for episode 100, because it'd be the first time that any of my series have ever reached. I mean, we've already reached like record highs with episode 90, but episode 100 is absolutely unprecedented. Did. Maybe. So with that, maybe I'll do something special, but I'm not sure. Might not do anything. However, what I decided to do to kind of start us off with this episode is kind of show off how large I've had to make my chunk loader boundaries now. Now, I will say that I don't necessarily need every single thing in my base chunk loaded, but a lot of the functionality of my base is kind of spread out throughout the entire base. So I figured I would just kind of bump it up again and kind of go from there. So currently we are at 81 chunks loaded, and we can see all the specifics when I turn the lasers off. But with this setup right now, it just barely catches our blood magic setup, which is perfect. And over here, just barely. Well, I guess maybe a little bit more than just. Also, we can only get so far away before it turns off. So yeah, I guess that's the max right there. But yeah, it pretty much encompasses the entire base at the moment, which is perfect. I honestly don't think I'll need to expand past this, because this is pretty much what I wanted to keep my base. Like, this is it. This is pretty much as big as I wanted to get it. So it's perfect, though. Like, I love it. It's a nice, huge base. Like, as somebody who started playing modded Minecraft on a pretty weak machine, it wasn't crappy, but, you know, at the time it wasn't the best. So, you know, and finally to have a machine that is good enough that I can not only record, I can also make huge, gigantic, modded Minecraft bases. It's pretty awesome. It's a pretty good feeling. And for you guys out there that have that crappy computer that it has to play at 10 FPS, super close, like you have to put your shit on tiny 2 chunks render distance, I feel you, man. And I promise you'll get that nice PC soon. You just gotta hold out, man. Although I will say a lot of that performance that we're seeing also comes from the improvement that Forge and other mods themselves have made over the years to make everything work a lot better. So yeah, right now we're working on a radius of 5, and this is pretty much the center of my base. So perfect. Oh yeah, forgot to turn lasers off. Hi lasers, yes. Yeah, we're also a square as well, and as we can see, that kind of perfect. So what are we going to do this episode? Well, as you can see, I've got my refined firestone in my inventory, and let's give this a ride. Whee! Give this guy a ride. For some reason, I still go all the way out here. No idea why. And, nice. But these are super smooth. Ever since the update to Britannia, like, if we remember, these guys were pretty jittery in the past once I switched to a server. On single player, they were super smooth. And then once we switched to the server, they were kind of jittery. But they're super smooth again. I don't think that's my connection. My connection's pretty much been the same throughout. But yeah, these guys are going strong. Nice big backlog RF. Let's see how our resident cell is doing. Pretty decent. I haven't been off. I didn't do too much off camera. I pretty much just went and refilled the refined firestone, which I'm going to toss in here now. Sweet. So it's going to take from the refined firestone. I can come over here and do one of these. Can you go in there? No. You're fully full. And I think this is also fully full. Nope, it took my sapling, so maybe not. But I should probably get an indicator on there. So yeah, what are we doing today? Well, if you're around last episode, you remember that I mentioned that we're going to dive into some of the earlier game forestry machines that we need to kind of get started with bees. So some of the stuff that you would want to kind of grab if you were getting ready to start bees yourself. So give me a moment. I'm going to kind of get myself together, grab myself some components, and I will be right back. And we can get started with some awesome forestry machines. All right, we are back, and it is time to create ourselves some of the earlier game forestry machines. Now, because I myself, I'm pretty mid, probably you could say late game at this point in my Let's Play. These machines definitely aren't early game for me. But what we're going to go ahead and do is kind of make like probably all of the early and some of the mid game machines that I'm going to need to focus on bees. Now, if you're somebody who kind of likes forestry machines or are curious about some of the automated machines that you can make in forestry, feel free to follow along and watch, because we're going to do some cool stuff with forestry in the next few episodes for sure. Because actually, Forestry 4 is out, and I should mention that while I am playing on I'm not playing on Forestry 4.0 and Plus, because there are some issues. I'm waiting for Benny's mods to update before I update Forestry, because Benny's mods are cool, man. I like them. And I'm just kind of hanging out waiting for those to update. But once I do, I'll update Forestry. But a lot of stuff is kind of waiting for Forest. Like, a lot of stuff that in this pack kind of depends on Forestry. So there are a few things that I haven't updated, like Gendustry being one of the obvious ones. Magic bees. And I think there's a couple more Thaumic bees. And Forestry, of course, itself. Benny's mods. The Bibliocraft for Forestry, that also didn't update. Now, one thing that I did update, because it needed to be updated, was NEI. Did I spell Forestry wrong? Yeah. So, because of that, for me personally, some of the recipes for forestry aren't gonna show up. See, so like recipe for the squeezer, fermenter, like some of the recipes are there. Wow, like none of the recipes work. Jesus. Okay, so a couple recipes work that exist for other mods, but so yeah, none of the forestry recipes are working for me. So I'm gonna have to look them up if I don't remember them. Most of them I remember, but some of them I don't. So just kind of bear with me, because this was kind of something that I didn't realize was a thing until I started looking through stuff, seeing what I was gonna need. But again, no big deal. We can definitely push on because the recipes themselves still work. I'm pretty sure. So first things first, probably the most basic machine in forestry that you're going to need is the carpenter. Now, I don't have the recipe here, but I can assure you that it is fairly straightforward, needing only a bit of bronze. Now, as you saw earlier there are a few different recipes for bronze. I personally like to use this one because it's nice and easy. Bam. There are other recipes that require a bit of work, but as far as like mixing different blends and stuff together, but we can still get our sturdy casings nonetheless. I'm just going to make a whole bunch of sturdy casings, because like pretty much every machine in forestry uses one of these sturdy casings. Now you might come across some of the more higher tech machines that use some of the more advanced like the sturdier casings. Let's see exactly which ones we have. I saw a few of them in there. See, we have the hardened casing, the impregnated casing, reinforced casings for genetics, and the integrated casing. Well, that looks fancy. Yeah, circuit boards and stuff. I like it. Well, it's a good thing those work, because I don't know those recipes at all, but those work, and that's good. So, again, I believe the reason why NEI isn't able to find the recipes for forestry is because I believe NEI is looking for the new forestry API that was created in 4.0. New people took over forestry. They kind of changed the API around for their own, so it works better for them, which, that's cool. It's a little weird that they would do that, but, again, whatever works for them. I'm happy that forestry was able to live on, because I personally love forestry. I think it's just one of those core mods that you just have to have in a mod pack for the most part. So anyway, yeah. So I believe that's why NEI isn't able to actually pull up the recipes for a lot of stuff for forestry. Again, because it's looking for an API that doesn't exist anymore. Or it doesn't exist yet, I should say. So anyway, with that out of the way, we got our bronze casings, and now we can create our carpenter. In fact, I should have actually maybe held on to some of those casings. Let me give me like half of these. So we got this. We need some more bronze. And glass. Wow. Nice amount of glass. Bam. Got ourselves a carpenter. Sweet. So again, the carpenter is like the most basic machine in forestry that you're going to need to do a lot of the to make a lot of things in forestry. So definitely one of the first things you want to get made. We'll look at it once we are prepared, because I want to make kind of like a handful of machines at the moment that we can kind of take a look at all at once, then go from there. Something that we don't necessarily need, but I want to make anyway because it is awesome. Something I probably should have made earlier on in the series is a workbench. Now, Bibliocraft actually adds a whole lot of different looks to the workbench depending on what kind of wood that you use. Woodworker. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Extra trees. I also have to wait to update that. So I think I'm waiting on like 8 mods or something like that. I think altogether that rely on forestry, that plug into forestry in some way. So Benny, if you're out there, man, can you like get to updating, please? Thanks. So anyway, workbenches. Workbenches are pretty cool, and we're just going to make probably just an oak one. Bum, bum, bum. Let's make a crafting table real quick. Oh yeah, that's right. Our AE system is completely full. I need to make some more storage cells, but I'm lazy. So yeah, oak fancy workbench. So the workbenches are really awesome because you can put them down. Wow, this one looks awesome. So again, keep in mind we're using a. Whoa, this is different than what I was expecting. Wait a second. I don't know anything about the Bibliocraft workbench. Where's the forestry workbench? I've gotten ahead of myself. What are these new things? There you are. Oh, work table. Ha ha ha. Okay, well, this looks cool though, but wasn't what I meant to showcase. Still, kind of nice. I wonder what you can do with this. Cool. So, not the right thing, but still nifty. I guess, actually, since my thing's full, I'll just put you right there. Oh, you know what? I wonder if you can put books in here. I just want to see this real quick. Can I put a book in here? Oh, you know what? It probably has to be a regular book. All right, I'm not messing with that right now. We can mess with that later, but that's cool, though. You could probably store recipes or something like that. Kind of nifty. So where were we? We were looking at the work table. Work table. There we go. Work table. Don't have the recipe for you. That's okay. We need a book, surprisingly enough. Got him. We need a crafting bench, naturally. And last but not least, we need a chest. And chest. Nice. So the work table is really, really neat because it allows you to save recipes on the right side. So let's say the best example in the world, you want to make yourself a furnace. Nice, we made a furnace. Oh, whoa, what's this over here? Nice. We can lock the recipe for the furnace right over there. So if we clear it out, walk away, go to bed, taking a little nap. They're like, oh man, I forgot I needed to make more furnaces, but I don't remember how to make the recipe because, I don't know, I just forgot. Click furnace. Oh, there we go. We can make more furnaces. Hell yeah. And you can do this with all sorts of things. It can store up to nine recipes before, you got to bust out a new work table. But it's perfect for those recipes that you really, really, really get tired of making a lot, but you tend to need to make a lot of, like sturdy casings. Da-da-da. Bam. Now we can lock that in there. And actually, I don't really need this guy, so I can clear him out. Actually, oh yeah, okay, that's the way it works. It'll remember all of them up to 9. So you don't actually necessarily need to lock like furnace in here. It'll keep that recipe until you use up all the slots. So if we made 9 more things, it would drop furnace out. It would eventually forget furnace, So, pretty cool. Pretty awesome. Really good for gears. Gears are a good example of things that you should probably make on a work table, because gears can be a huge pain in the ass to make because lots of steps. So yeah, basically that. If you find something that has lots of steps, a work table is a really, really good way to kind of get around that. And I'm not sure, but I think it saves. Yeah, it saves your recipes when you pick them up moving around. That is really cool. I don't know if it actually used to do that. I don't know if that's new, but I don't think that was part of its original functionality. I think that's something that was added, and I like. So what's the next thing we need to make? A squeezer. Now we're kind of going more into bee-related things, but the squeezer can be used for quite a few things. Not necessarily just bee things, but I'm going to primarily use it for bee things. So we need, once again, our almighty sturdy casing. This time around, we need tin on the sides. You'll notice a lot of the recipes are actually fairly similar, just a little bit different here and there. we got our glass, and with that, we have a squeezer. Next, we are going to make a centrifuge. Centrifuge is primarily a bee thing. I don't think there's any other things that you really need to use it for outside of bee stuff, so just keep that in mind. Again, I think. I'm not super sure, but as far as I can recall, that's true. Exactly 4,200 copper ingots. Nice. So yeah, just a bit of copper and, of course, your glass, sturdy casing, and more glass. Gets you the centrifuge. Make a whole bunch of centrifuges. In the future, we will make a whole bunch of centrifuges. But for now, we're just going to stick with just the one. In fact, I might go ahead and make two. Because the centrifuge is going to, for bees, the centrifuge tends to be the machine that you automate. So you'll tend to use a lot of them. So just keep that in mind when you're working into like automating bee stuff or just kind of forestry stuff in general. Although, I guess I said the centrifuge is primarily for bees. So yeah. Just keep that in mind. Bees. Centrifuge, bee stuff. Lots of automation. So that's kind of it, I think, for now. I think in the future, we're definitely going to make... Oh, actually, do I want to make this yet? Yeah. Yeah, let's make it. So the next thing, the last thing that we're going to make is kind of a mid-tier item for the forestry line of machines. Thermiotic. There we go. It's also very difficult to spell. Thermiotic fabricator. It's also kind of, you can also kind of call it the tier 2 carpenter, if you will. It's like I wouldn't say better carpenter. It's the more advanced version of the carpenter, kind of. So let's make one. Of course, I don't have, I was kind of hoping maybe I'd have the recipe for that, but no. So I have the wiki open here on the side just to make sure that I can look anything up I need to. So we're good. So as always, sturdy casing. Oh, yes. But now we're going to change it up a little bit. We need gold, but only a little bit, though. Not too much. Nice. Sweet. Thermiotic fabricator. Pretty cheap. No reason to not go ahead and make one. Outside of the fact that the thermiotic fabricator, I believe, constantly uses power. So it's something that you're wanting to connect to a line that you can turn on and off. So that is why we kind of, I wanted to make sure that I had access to multiple sides of that energy cell, because I want to hook the thermiotic fabricator up to its own line so I can turn that line on and off when I'm not using it. Something that goes along with the thermiotic fabricator is actually glass. It uses glass to create a lot of its product. So do we have our energy or conduits? Yes. Oh, wait, no, not those. Oh, wait, yeah, we do. Haha, just kidding. So a little bit of setup for this forestry stuff, but that's okay, because these... Whoa, zombie man. Get out of here. Your damn gold armor. Double checking. Yeah. Refilled that firestone, doing pretty good. Looking real nice out here. I love it. I went ahead and made some more carpenter's wedge slopes and stuff, too, so I can finish this in between if I have any more cuts at any point. Finish that really quick. So what did we spend? About 13 minutes. This guy filled up another quarter of the way. Not too bad. So let's start hooking these guys up. Now, I didn't plan on doing these guys anything special as far as hiding wires and everything, because this is kind of meant to be, kind of a work area. So, all good. Oh, you know what I need for the carpenter? The carpenter needs water. It needs a water supply, which I kind of forgot about. It's not something that's too terribly difficult to deal with. I just need to make sure that there we go, just a hole underneath here, and I can set up like an aqueous accumulator or something. Maybe actually I want to put him over here. Ah! Yeah, let's do that. So let's put the carpenter right there. Now keep in mind, actually, if you do make yourself a carpenter and you're like, oh, well, you can bucket stuff in here. You can just bucket water in here, no big deal. We also might have a couple carpenters around this bee sanctuary, because there's a few different liquids that you can put into the carpenter. And there are a few different things that need a few different types of liquids to be created, like the impregnated casings and wood, etc. for the apiaries. You're going to need yourself something different in the carpenter. But we'll get to that when it's time to get to that. So we have our carpenter right here. Let's put our squeezer next to it or near it. Put our centrifuge right there. And then I'm going to put the thermionic fabricator kind of over here. Just again, because I'm going to put two separate lines. Although, yeah, I guess it still works. So we're going to have, this line's going to come out of the top because I'm not ever going to mess with it. It's going to come down right on top of it. Cool. Again, nothing too fancy because I kind of wanted to make this room look a little bit, you know, industrially, kind of techy, if you will. So these guys should be powered. Wait, no power. Wait, why do you not have power? Oh, you got, oh, I know why. Duh. Bam. Now you guys should have power. Cool. Okay, so these guys have power. The squeezer squeezes. The centrifuges. The carpenter creates. So like I mentioned, the carpenter needs water, so we can't mess around with the carpenter yet. Until I get some water in here, which I can do pretty soon. So, and this guy always uses power. So for now, I am going to turn him on to get him going because I'm going to toss his glass in here and let him do that. So if you see this little guy right here, then he needs to warm up to a certain temperature, which he'll reach here pretty quickly. Once he warms up, he's going to start melting this glass down. See, he took one. See, now he's got 2,000 of 2,000 liquid glass. It's going to continue to warm up. Or I guess this is his energy output. Once his energy gets to this point, he can start melting glass. So there you go. That's a little bit more accurate to how it works. But again, the thermionic fabricator works very similarly to the carpenter, which we'll see here soon. For now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do a quick cut. I'm going to go get myself an aqueous accumulator together. I was just going to bucket water and stuff in here, but I don't want to deal with that. I need to make an aqueous accumulator anyway, so I figured I would go ahead and get one ready. Come back with a few cool things that we can do with these new machines, and we won't have to worry about bucketing in water. So give me a moment, and I will be right back. Okay, we're back, and we have our aqueous accumulator, and I noticed, actually, if you mouse over the work table, it actually say there's still some scribbles on this, meaning that, you know, it's showing you that it actually does have some recipes on it, if you're curious. Like, if, for example, you have a lot of work tables, and you're not sure, like you have a bunch, you can tell which ones you've already used and which ones are new. Kind of neat. I like that. So anyway, I'm pretty sure I got everything I need, and I could place the work table down. I meant to do that, but forgot. So one thing I want to go ahead and do, actually, we got to set up the aqueous accumulator first. Just kidding. Oh man, there's really already water down here. That's actually amazing. Can I get lucky though? Can I get the water to do one of these? Can you straighten out for me? Can you fill up in a nice, healthy way? No? You're gonna keep doing that? Alright. Okay. Maybe I've got a bucket on me. Oh, do I seriously not have a bucket on me? What am I doing with my life? That's okay. I've got the next best thing. Rod of the Seas. Thank you, Britannia. Thank you very much. Dirt. Okay. Everything's going crazy. It needs to calm down. Okay, there we go. So that saved me a little bit of time. I like that. Seeing as there's already water down here. So you need to be about right there. Perfect. Okay, cool. Let's fly up and hit you with that. As always, you know, right-click onto machines. It's no different for forestry machines. Or shift right-click, I should say, if you want to place onto a machine. And boom. Perfect. Okay, so this carpenter should be getting his water. Nice. Fantastic. So like I said, some things that you make in the carpenter require the use of water. Some things require the use of honey. Some stuff require the use of seed oil. It just depends on what you're doing. I think stuff needs honey. Is there really an Enderman mad at me right now? I didn't do nothing. I didn't do a damn thing. Well, whatever. Screw him. So nice, dude. We got our nice little power area going. It looks so good up here. A little workshop for our bee stuff and forestry machines for any other forestry stuff we might want to do. But I like it. I'm excited. So the last thing that we're going to do before we close out the episode is I'm going to show you guys something cool that we can make in the carpenter. Now this is, I think, like the first thing that you make if you ever want to do anything with bees for forestry. I believe it is this and one of these. Now notice I'm putting stuff into this inventory down here, not my inventory. We got ourselves a bee analyzer. Nice. Takes a little bit of time to create, but it needs water to go, and it needs power as well. I hear the zombie, but I don't see the zombie. Where are you at, man? Come on. I know you're freaking out. You're passing so confused by the carpenter's blocks. Oh, yeah, if you didn't know, you can use carpenter's blocks as stairs, and apparently they confuse the shit out of zombies. Worth. I couldn't make limestone stairs, so I was like, well, crap, how am I supposed to do this? And this worked perfect. It feels like you're walking upstairs. You know that little bump you get whenever you walk upstairs? Yeah. I mean, if you played along Minecraft for a long time, you know what I'm talking about. If not, I probably sound like a crazy person. So I think, nice, Bealizer. Sweet. I don't think we have time to use it, which sucks, but that's okay. It's something to look forward to in the next episode. So with that, guys, thanks for watching. I have been Lanolin. In the next episode, be sure to come back because we're going to mess around with this Bealizer, see what we can do with it. We're going to take a look at the squeezer and the centrifuge and see what kind of stuff that we can do with them. And we might mess around with the thermionic fabricator. I don't honestly have any plans for the thermionic fabricator at the moment. I just have it in case I need it. And it's easy to make, so it's one of those why not make it because you might need it type of things. So again, be sure to come by in the next episode. We're going to be messing around with some bee stuff. I know some people don't like bees, and I really don't care because I think bees are awesome. So you bee guys and girls, come on by. We're going to start messing around with bees and see what we can do with those. You guys that don't like the bees, you guys can go watch Departed. That sounds fun. That's a really good series that people enjoy. If not, stick around. You might like bees doing them with me. So, again, thanks for watching, guys. I have been Lanolin, and I will see you next time. Bye.